Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, YouTube streets. Shout out to the chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Habari za hasaburi. Karibu ni umbani wangu. Kuvuta kiti, kachini, kumpumzika, unakaribishwa. Twendi zetu, kuja na, kuja na mimi kula chakula. Miji baridi. Twendi zetu, kuja na mimi, kula chakula miji baridi, marafiki. Yo, yo, yo. This is your homegirl, Arabia Bambosa. I'm not going to be up here very long, but I just wanted to know, I got a question. I have a question. Who is that old dude that was trying to curse out Ronald Jones and Ro Rich? Who was that dude? That's the only question I have. Who was that dude that was trying to curse out Ronald Jones and Ro Rich? Who was that dude? Now, I keep hearing that people keep calling him Mr. Oates, Mr. Oates. Mr. Oates sounded kind of tipsy there, didn't he? Mr. Oates just recently had a camera slip, didn't he? Why? If he's a Kwamite, why is he so busy coming to other people's channels, hitting the link, staying on the panel, and not really talking about nothing? Shout out to the chat. That's the only question I have. I don't have anything else other than that one question. You see the name of the title is Who is that? Who is that dude? I've seen his camera slip, and I know he's a Kwamite. I know he's a part of KB bullshit goon sector over there. He's a Kwamite. He's a follower. He's a zombie. He's a mindless follower. He's a sheeple. He's part of the 85%. So why does he want to hang around the other people in the sector, knowing that they don't like him, knowing that they don't respect him, knowing that they don't give a fuck that he's an elder? Shout out to the chat. I just wanted to ask that question real quick. Shout out to the one person in the building. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, I was trying to figure out who that old dude was. I seen the camera slip. We know he's old. We know he's an idiot. You gotta be an idiot to follow after a Squid Game player named KB, Kwame Brown, the troll on these YouTube streets. Been trouble ever since he got here. Ever since that clown got here, ever since that payaso got here, that mentiroso, that dweeb, that lowlife, that pathetic, that worthless dude named KB, Kwame Brown, the troll. He's useless. He's useless. Just came to these YouTube streets to cause trouble and problems. That's the only thing I'm trying to figure out. Why would more people want to follow after a deadbeat like that? People have no smarts. See, that shows you right there that this sector is filled up with zombies, lowlifes, pathetic, dweebs, drop shots, off-brand, no name, drag nasty niggas like Mr. Oates. I don't like him. I don't like his spirit. I don't like him, and I don't like his spirit. I think I met him one time before on Anthony's link on his panel. You know what I mean? Word. Shout out to the chat. We got two in the building. We got two people in the building. Shout out to you. Good morning. Yeah, I was trying to figure out who that was. I don't know who that is. Only thing I know, they call him Mr. Oats. He had a camera slip. He's a Kwamite. So if you're a Kwamite, that means that you're a nothing. You're a nobody. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the only way I can look at it. That's the only way I see it. That's my opinion. I don't like that dude. He talks, he doesn't talk with intelligence. He doesn't talk like he's trying to give any advice. He doesn't try to help anyone. It just seems like he comes up there to cause more problems, or he's trying to get himself discovered, or he's doing that to help KB out. KB can fight his own goddamn battles. Hasn't people been able to figure that out yet? Yeah, I had a couple of years to figure this shit out. 2022, 2023, 2024, and this year right now. What is wrong with these dweebs? What is wrong with these payasos? What is wrong with these mentirosos? What is wrong with these pendejos? What is wrong with these vatos? What is wrong with these basura la calle? Dweebs, macundus. When I see these people, I be wondering to myself why Anthony just don't drop him off the panel. It's a waste of time to have that dude up there. But Anthony does what he want to do. Shout out to Anthony. We got people. We got three people in the building. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it's early. I know it's early. It's Saturday. It's the beginning of the weekend. Actually, yesterday was the beginning of the weekend. So we got today. We got tomorrow. And then a few more days after that, it'll be Christmas. When is Christmas? Wednesday, Thursday? I don't really give a fuck because I don't really give a fuck about Christmas. Shout out to the chat. I don't give a fuck about none of them damn holidays. None of those holidays have any meaning for me anyway, or our people. I don't know why our people celebrate it. Shout out to the chat. Something passed from generation to generation to generation. You can pass down a story about Santa Claus and all this other craziness, but you can't pass down generational wealth. That shows you where our people are at. It's crazy. We got two in the building. So I must have scared one of them away because I'm telling the truth about your Christmas, about your pagan holidays, about how it doesn't mean anything to anyone. Shout out to the chat. It's all this foolishness. It's amazing to me how foolishness, trauma, pain, and all the other negative stuff is passed down from generation to generation to generation. It just keeps passing on down. Shout out to the chat. We got some smart people. We got some intelligent people in the world that don't celebrate these stupid ass holidays. And I'm saying that out of my own goddamn mouth. These holidays are very stupid. They mean nothing to no one. It's all commercialized. It's all about money. It's all about what you can get from people. And we have a government. And everybody has a fishbowl memory. We have a government. Remember, you guys, they stopped 42 million people from eating. We have a government that is in trouble. We have a president that is sitting in the White House looking to start another world war. Shout out to the chat. And that's reality. That's the way I see it. That's my opinion about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I came up here to say, man. Oh boy, these YouTube streets. These YouTube streets are on fire and they are fierce in certain chats. In certain chats, that is. Not every chat is like that. And let's be real. Let's tell the truth. You don't know anything about Kwame Brown or any of the Kwamites unless someone is doing a reaction video about those clowns. Now I understand why people are going after certain people in that camp over there, but it is what it is. You can't stop people from fighting people. You can't tell people how to fight. You just got to let people be great, let them get their part out, let them do them. Shout out to the chat, because the way some of those Kwamites have been acting is really ridiculous. It's disgusting. It's shameful. And don't people know that there are other celebrities on this platform that happen? Like, let's say there's another celebrity somewhere, right? And they say, well, they're having a hard time sleeping, or they just want to cruise the YouTube streets, and they come across a platform giving shine to someone like Kwame Brown. Out of all the people in the industry that you hear about, I never heard of no damn Kwame Brown until a few years ago. Shout out to the chat. And that's real. I never heard of this clown. He came to these YouTube streets. He's playing Squid Games with everyone. He doesn't value any of his supporters, any of his subscribers. He don't give a fuck about none of those people over there. So it's pointless for people to think that they are valued in his eyes. He's dragging you. He's playing you. He's clowning you. He's making fun of you. He's laughing at you. Shout out to the chat. That's not a comfortable feeling to sit around someone that is showing on their sleeve that they dislike you. He doesn't like anyone. He doesn't even like his own self. He don't even like his own fucking life. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, that's the only thing I have to say. I wasn't going to be up here very long. I wasn't going to be up here very long at all. So that's the only thing I wanted to know. Good morning, mulatto rights activists. No, this is not an open panel. This is not an open panel. The link is dropped, but it's not an open panel. Because I don't know you and you're not coming up here. So it's not an open panel. Thanks for coming, but no thanks. Thanks for the view. Shout out to you. Good morning. Hey, Mrs. V. Good morning. I didn't see you right away, Mrs. V. You must have snuck into the building. Shout out to you. Because I don't see y'all right away until y'all type into the chat anyway. But I thank you for coming over. Yeah, I just wanted to get that part out. So Anthony went live earlier. Seemed like he was having a good live. Seemed like everyone was getting along until Mr. Oates had hit the link and some other people had hit the link, But mostly Mr. Oates. Everyone else was fine. Everyone else was cool. Everything. Not Roll Rich, though. Roll Rich, he is a disgrace. Bro, Rich, if you could hear the sound of my voice, you are a disgrace. That is terrible to tell people that you want to fuck their dead mama. That's not good, Rich. And you wasn't talking like that before, Rich. You just started acting like that recently. You did it to Bishop. Now you're doing it to whoever the other people was that came on the link that you disagreed with. I don't remember him saying that to Mr. Oates. I do remember him saying that. And that is very unfortunate. I don't understand what's going on. You don't have to get that angry with the person saying that you want to fuck their dead mama. That doesn't make any sense. That's not good. It doesn't look good. It makes you look like you are at loss for words. You have lost your words. You used to talk with intelligence. What happened? What happened to Rich? He used to talk with intelligence. Now he's talking like he's a cannibal or something. Like he's another Ted Bundy or something. Or he's another Ed Kemper or something. But he's not really that way. He's just a little dude on the YouTube streets talking shit, talking smack. So it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I got those questions, man. I'm always going to have questions. You know, I was up there earlier, but I was only addressing one person in the chat, and that was Brown Skin Lady. And that's that's my home team right there. That's my team right there. We not from the same place, but you know, when you like someone, you like someone. And you get want to give them props. Shout out to Brown Skin Lady. Shout out to all the women in this sector that talk up for themselves and keep this shit running. For real, for real. Because it's really the women in this sector that keep everything spinning like the way it is. They keep the world turning. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah, 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 Miss V. Mrs. V, you would be very surprised. Early in the morning, late at night. And sometimes you just happen on these channels. Well, I know Anthony for a minute. You know, I've been knowing Anthony for a little while, ever since he started his channel, even before he started his channel. Anthony's alright, he cool dude, but you know, some people don't need to be on his panel, you know, at all. He's monetized. I know he trying to get his time hours up, but come on, man. But Anthony is okay. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to everyone that was on the panel except for Mr. Oates and Rich. Rich. He's just clowning now. He's just acting up. And he was tired. He was sleepy. I don't know why he just didn't take his ass to bed. Or he might have been at work on, you know, on his tablet or whatever, clowning around. I don't know. These people are unbelievable. We got 4 people in the building. Shout out to the chat. We got 4 people in the building. Shout out to the chat. This is not really an open panel. The link is dropped. But if I don't know you, if I'm not familiar with you, you're not hitting this link. I gotta been knowing you for quite some time. And if I'm unfamiliar with you, you're not going to hit the link. Shout out to the chat. That's just the rules over here. That's the way I run my platform over here. That's the way this stage is going to be run over here. Because I don't have time for people's bullshit and their tonteria early in the morning. I don't have time for it. We got 6 people in the building. Shout out to the chat. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. Good morning to everyone. I hope everyone has an awesome day. In a few more days, you guys will be celebrating Christmas. And me personally, it's just another day. It's a holiday for some, but it's just another day for me and other people that share my views. They share my point of views. Christmas is just another day. It's just like Thanksgiving was. It's just like a 4th of July. It's just like Memorial Day. It's just like Labor Day. It's just like President's Day. It's just another day. I wonder why they don't celebrate Martin Luther King like the way they celebrate Christmas. You celebrate a myth, a story, a commercial line, propaganda. They support all the wrong things. Martin Luther King, he don't have a day, he don't have a holiday like Christmas. People, okay, Christmas is only for one day, but people usually celebrate this particular holiday for maybe 2-3 weeks before Christmas even get in real good. And then after Christmas leaves, then you got a few more days, and then you got the New Year's. Anybody ever questions why New Year's is in January? Why is New Year's in January? Nobody questions that. Shout out to the chat. And we got all these people on this platform. They got college degrees. These people have experienced life. They have been through whatever they've been through in life. And I just don't understand why they celebrate these holidays. No holiday should be celebrated right particular now, because a few weeks ago, 42 million people were going hungry. 42 million people had to scrape and scrounge to get something to fucking eat. We got USA veterans coming home from the war, and half of them end up homeless on the fucking street when they shouldn't be homeless. They should already have their benefits. They served the country. They fought in the wars. Why they can't get their benefits? Shout out to the chat. Why they gotta wait? It's stupid to me. We got a homeless problem in this country, and people are worrying about some goddamn Christmas. Shout out to the chat. Good morning, Tamika. I didn't see Tamika come in the building. Oh, we got Tay Ward in the chat. We got Tamika in the chat, and we got Mrs. V in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Good morning. And I know some people say, well, we celebrating the birthday of Jesus. Okay, that's good and well. But once again, let's ask the question. Why is it people celebrate one particular day and they say, yeah, well, this is the season of giving, and this is this and this is that, but I don't see much giving all year round? Shout out to the chat. I see people having a hard time finding regular, stable employment. I see people having a hard time paying their rent. I see people having a hard time paying their mortgage. I see people having a hard time paying their utilities. I see people having a hard time living life on life's terms. Shout out to the chat. Nothing is ever said about that. Nothing is ever done about it. You know what I mean? Word. I went to the office the other day. We got people who are homeless, and rather than sleep on the street, They rather stay on the job site and fall asleep on the job site. There was one particular job site, Daniel Island, where they stayed behind and they slept all night at the job site. The next day, when the carpool lady pulled up, the person was over there by the gate, but the people had already seen him. Now, when we left that afternoon, all of a sudden, all the supervisors come onto all the buildings, check each apartment unit, the closets, everything. And then after they checked that, they turned off the lights, they closed the doors, they locked the doors. That's something they never did before. Shout out to the chat. And you can't tell me that these people need help and they don't know where to go. There's two different places. Right now I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So there's two different places that these people can go. They can go to get the help they need. See, in New York, what you do when people go to New York or New Yorkers get into this situation, they go down to the nearest DSS office and they apply. They apply for food stamps, they apply for Medicaid, and they apply for housing. If they're not able to get into a boarding house or an apartment that particular day or anytime in the near future, they set them up in a shelter. Shout out to the chat. I'm from Westchester County. So what they used to do, they used to send everyone to this big shelter. It was in Valhalla, New York, and everyone went there. Then after you stayed there for a couple of weeks, then you would venture out. You would go into some kind of transitional halfway house. And they had them all over. They had them in White Plains. They had them in Yonkers. They had them in Mount Vernon. They have them all over. Even when you go into the city, same program, same thing. Shout out to the chat. I seen something on the news where there were some people that built these tiny little houses that the homeless could actually live in or sleep in overnight or whatever the case may be. Don't you know the city came by with bulldozers and bulldozed down those little tiny houses, told the people they couldn't stay there. They would rather people sleep on the fucking street than to sleep in a little tiny house that someone built for them. Shout out to the chat. I guess they got mad because the people wasn't paying rent. I guess they got mad because the people wasn't paying utilities. I guess they got mad because the people wasn't paying a high bill for a mortgage. Shout out to the chat. What's up, Not Worth It? What's up, Trade Spectives? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We got 7 people in the building. Good morning, everyone. Shout out to you. It's Saturday morning. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York, coming to you with another live video. I'm just asking some questions. Maybe I'm asking the questions in the wrong spot, but somebody, somewhere, is going to hear me asking these questions. Shout out to the chat. Because I remember a few years ago, I used to be on the phone calling Congress all the time, calling my representative all the time. I got so good, I started calling Maxine Waters. Yes, I did. Shout out to the chat. Because I wanted to know where the programs was at. And why it takes so long to get people moved and get people the assistance that they need. You know, we got people walking around high on fentanyl and some other type of drugs, and they are a danger to themselves and to other people. There's no programs in place for these people. They gotta actually walk into a hospital and announce that they need help. Shout out to the chat. I remember a few years ago, I was living in New York when this happened, and I'm what they call a self mutilator. Okay, so there was one particular night I had did the thing, and I thought it was regular, but I heard a pop. I heard something pop. I said, oh, and the blood wasn't stopping. So I went to the nearest emergency room. Don't you know I had to tippity type on a fucking computer screen about why I was there, my name, how old I was, and I was still sitting. Yo, I don't know how long I was sitting out there, but I know a pool of blood went on to the fucking floor. Shout out to the chat. And guess what? After they cleaned me up, after they stitched me up, guess what they did? They released me. They knew I was homeless. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the motherfucking chat. Yeah. So I'm telling you something personal from my life, and that's real. And people are walking around like this. I see people getting out of the hospital, being, you know how they discharge you from the hospital, from the mental ward or whatever. These people are walking around with scrubs 2, 3, 4, 5 days. They're out there panhandling. They're out there getting in trouble. They're out there. The cops are coming to get them. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, we got a real pandemic in this country and nobody is talking about it. Nobody is addressing it. We got all these YouTube creators in this sector and I hear very little. So I have to go to another sector and then another sector and then another sector. And then I have to go off the platform to even hear people talk about these problems and these issues and these concerns. That's what makes it really fucked up. Shout out to the chat. They shouldn't have been released. Sure have called some. Ms. V, they be releasing these people. They know these people ain't got no family. They know these people are stranded. They know these people don't know what their name is some of the time. And they release them right back out here into the damn street. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. And they do the veterans the exact same way. They make them wait forever to get their fucking benefits. Because I do remember Birdman waiting forever to get his fucking money. I do remember some of my coworkers waiting forever to get their fucking money from the fucking military. These men and women served. They served the country. Whether they was in a war or whether they was in peacetime. After they do their time, where's their benefits? Why they gotta wait? Oh, they gotta be disabled. Where? Half of them are disabled. If they fought in the war, they're disabled. Just like we got a whole bunch of people getting ready to get out of prison this year. Where are these people gonna go? And some of these people are not even going to be released like maxed out. They're going to be on parole. They're going to be on some kind of house arrest. They're going to have that bracelet on their ankle. These people can't even get a regular job without someone breathing down their neck. Shout out to the chat. I know, Mrs. V, and that's what I'm trying to convey. Ms. V, in a few more days, it'll be Christmas time, right? Ms. V, Let's say I walk downtown on Christmas, and let's say I go to Marion Square, or I stand up somewhere near Marion Square, and I start panhandling. You know I'm gonna get mad money. Not mad money, but mostly they're gonna give out gift cards and food and all this other craziness. Shout out to the chat. Thinking, oh, with this person, da da da, but they don't know. What they don't know about me, they don't know. But I'm just saying, every year they do this in Marion Square. Not too long ago, there was the weather down here. See, I'm in South Carolina now. I've been in South Carolina for a couple of years. At nighttime, the temperatures drop down to 28 degrees for 3 nights in a row. They have warming shelters for the homeless, and they got caseworkers, they got social workers, and then they got volunteers. Why are the people still homeless? Where's the programs where they can put them in a hotel? And I think they did it a few years ago down here, but the people were stealing the money so bad. And I'm not talking about the homeless clients. I'm talking about the people that was in charge of the money. Shout out to the chat. I was living in New York, right there in Yonkers, right there on Saratoga Avenue. I was living in a beautiful, beautiful apartment building. Don't you know that the person that was over the building, the landlord, he was over the maintenance, he was over everything. Don't you know that man was pocketing the money? He was pocketing the money every month, not paying nothing. The whole building went in foreclosure. Everyone had to fucking move. Shout out to the chat. No, Miss V, it's not a problem people helping people. It's the programs they some of the programs they have in place. Some of the programs they have in place. Okay, let's say I'm in this apartment right now, right? And the landlord is getting the money, right? And let's say the landlord decides one day, you know what? I'm not going to pay the mortgage on this property. Guess what? The whole property will go in foreclosure. Guess what? Everyone will have to move. Shout out to the chat. That's what I'm saying. We got 6 in the building. So shout out to everyone that's in the chat. Shout out to everyone that came in to visit with me this morning. Yeah, I just have a couple of questions. You know, I have some things on my mind other than what somebody said on somebody's panel. I mean, it's very entertaining. It's kind of funny a little bit. But then I started thinking, I said, well, in a few more days, it'll be Christmas. Where's some of my coworkers gonna go? Hmm? Because there's no overnight shelters. See, they don't have certain programs in place down here, like the way they have in New York. See, in New York, you got overnight shelters. You got sleep sites. Down here, they have nothing for the people. And then the cops come by, and then they want to give the people a ticket. I remember they used to do that to me. They used to give me a ticket. Not for trespassing or vandalism or nothing like that. But let's say that someone had a beer can open, and let's say it's sitting next to me. Let's say I have it in my hand. That's a ticket. That means I gotta go to court. And they used to do that. They used to do that a whole lot. Or we be sitting somewhere and here come the cops. Oh, y'all gotta move from this property. X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. So what I started doing, this is what I started doing. Like on my job, I would just start collecting the money as much as I could. and then I would leave. I would take Birdman with me. I'd be like, we leaving. And we'd get a motel room. We'd be in a motel room for maybe a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. And then we back out there on the street. When I did end up getting a place of my own, I had to go through a boarding house first, and then I came to the apartment later. Shout out to the chat. Birdman was a veteran. Birdman was homeless. Shout out to the chat. I had to push him to go ahead to the VA and get his own place. The man went and got his own place. The man was there for over a year. The man moved out of that place and moved into a nice house in West Ashley. But the only thing is, he didn't have a nurse's aide. He didn't have a certified nurse's aide to come in and help him with anything. So eventually, Birdman fell a couple of times, and the last time he fell, he died. And I blame the hospital, and I blame the VA, and I blame all them people that's in his fucking family. Shout out to the chat. Now his birthday is in a few more days. Where he at? He's 6 feet under. Thanks to the government not doing their job, and thanks to other people in the community not doing their fucking job, and thanks to his fucking family for being the dirtbags that they are. Family is the worst. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, anyone want to hit the link, they can. Shout out to the chat. We got 9 in the building. Miss V, you ain't got to worry about me panhandling. I don't really need it. So we got 10 people in the building. Miss V, how many likes we got? We got 10 people in the building. How many likes? Can you check it for me, please? I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in this morning. Moderating. But you always come in here anyway, because you like to support the channel. You like to come over here with me. A lot of people like to hear my reflections about life and my personal experiences, whether I'm talking about prison. And that's another thing. Shout out to the chat. That's another thing. I'm gonna have to talk about that. I'm going to have to talk about that situation where we was in prison and there was a medical doctor up in there, and every time you went to the medical facility, I don't care if it was for a headache, I don't care if it's for a cough, I don't care if you had hurt your hand, the man wanted you to take off your clothes and to spread your legs, and so he can put his fingers up inside you. There's a lot of that going on in the prisons. You know what I mean? They making people work for a dollar a day, $1.40 a day sometimes. Most cases of most jobs that you're on, you're working for either between 50 cents and $1.40 an hour. That's all you're getting an hour. And you're working some high-tech jobs. You're working very important jobs. But when you get out into the fucking street in the so-called free world, you don't qualify for those jobs. You don't qualify. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. And when you don't want, when you refuse to work, guess what they do? They put you on the SHU program. The SHU program. You go to a SHU program. And Lord have mercy. Lord help you if you have a mental illness. I remember I went to SMU, the SHU program, for assaulting an inmate and an officer. They gave me 18 months on lockup. 18 months turned into 3 years and 9 months. You know why? Because they didn't want to give me mental health treatment. They knew I was mentally ill. They didn't want to do it. Shout out to the chat. You know when the motherfuckers did it? They did it the year I was getting ready to get the fuck out of there. All of a sudden, they was concerned that my mental health was fucked up. Shout out to the chat. I walked in fucked up. I walked out fucked up. And I don't hide that fact from nobody. Yeah, that's right. Mrs. V, is some things that's going on in the penitentiary. A lot of people not talking about. We got all these people that got jackets, criminals, felonies in this sector, and very few people actually talk about that kind of stuff. How the doctors dig up your ass every time you go to them for help. I don't care if you're going to see the dentist. Right after you finish seeing the dentist, the doctor want to see you. Oh, the doctor need to see you. All of a sudden now, he want to dig up your ass. Yeah, it went on for a couple of years. People would complain about him, complain about him, complain about him, until one day they shut his ass down. He got fired. But how many years was he working there at that fucking prison? And people were complaining about him, and people were writing on him. They were writing to authorities on the outside. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about none of those people that's in prison. Nobody. They got certain church organizations. They come through. Like I remember the Mennonites. They used to come through all the time. And they used to give like little church services. There was one lady, she was pregnant with her baby. She couldn't keep her baby. She didn't have no family to come get the baby, so the baby would have ended up in foster care. And you know, the Mennonites said, one of the Mennonite ladies said, "That's all right, we'll take the baby." And when she had the baby, she stayed in the hospital 3 days with the child. And then after the third day, the Mennonites came and they got the baby. And the lady had like a couple of years to do left in prison. She did her time. She maxed out. She went straight to the Mennonites and they let her stay with them. She ended up getting a job and everything. She doing real good now. But let's just say she didn't have no family support. Let's say her people and her family were dirtbags and they didn't want to fuck with her no more. People will do that to you. In a way, that's why I was glad, I went to a halfway house when I got out. And then later on I started living with Sergeant Crystal Reagan and my niece Sierra and my nephew Laquan. This is before Sergeant Crystal Reagan divorced my brother. I lived with her for a couple of months, then I left. I went to another shelter. I got on my feet. I got me another apartment. I was living down there in Greenville, South Carolina. And then after I lived in Greenville, South Carolina for a while, I transferred back to New York. And then a few years down the line, I'm living in New York. I'm sitting in my house 10:30 at night. I get a fucking phone call. It's my younger sister telling me, "Oh, well, sister girl is dead and the kids are dead." I'm like, "What happened? They got in a car accident?" She said, "No, the man killed them. The dude that she divorced my brother to marry some clown. He killed her. He killed all her children that was in that house except for one, because that was his son. He killed all my brother's children that was in that house." Okay? This dude, he's in prison right now. He'll never get out. Shout out to the chat. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, what if when I left from the halfway house situation, now let's say I didn't have her, what would have happened to me? Shout out to the chat. And I didn't know nothing about the outside world no more. Cause I was already gone for a couple of years. Shout out to the chat. So if it wasn't for Crystal Reagan, I don't think I would be breathing right now. Shout out to her. Rest in peace. If it wasn't for my cousin Shakia, I wouldn't be breathing right now. Shout out to her. Rest in peace. See, everybody that was close to me, everyone that really meant something to me, all of them are dead and gone. Ain't nobody breathing. And the ones that are breathing ain't no good to me. Shout out to them for being no good. So that's the only thing I have to say. But thank you, Mrs. V. And thank you everyone else for coming in. I'm gonna look back at the chat. I see Mrs. V is in here. She's moderating. Shout out to her. Good morning. Thank you for helping me out. So we got Mrs. V. She's in here. Let's go up. Got Tay Ward. He came in. Not worth it. He came in. Tamika McCullough. She came in. Okay, I had two moderators in this chat this morning. Thank y'all for coming in and moderating. And Mulatto Rights came in. Shout out to him. Or shout out to that person. I've never seen him before in my chat before. So, Mulatto Rights activist. All right. So that's the only thing I have to say this morning. I hope everyone has an awesome day. Brown Skin Lady is supposed to be going live today. Now, when I looked over there, her channel, I didn't see anything. Was saying that she had the live scheduled. So I don't know if she's going live today or not, but I hope she goes live. And I hope if she do go live, she got a good video up and she's gonna have a good subject to talk about. Now, Brown Skin Lady, a lot of people don't know who she is, but some people do. For those of you who do not know who she is, I'm gonna tell you who she is. Brown Skin Lady she's a content creator. She's a woman content creator from the sector, in the sector. Okay, she's been here for a couple of years. She's a professional woman. I remember her, Lovelace, and there was another lady. I think they work in the same profession. Shout out to them. And it is what it is. So Brown Skin Lady supposed to be going live today. I want to shout out to all my YouTube creators. I want to shout out to my moderators. I want to shout out to my support team. I want to shout out to my subscribers, new and old. I want to shout out to all my chat members, especially those that walk with me to work, go with me to work, go with me at lunch, go with me when I want to go and do a little shopping. I want to shout out to all those that support this channel. Shout out to y'all. And I guess that's it. So anyone else want to hit the link, or is everyone good? I could just close out the video. I want to thank Ms. V and Tamika for coming in and moderating. Shout out to y'all. I know I got some good moderators. Everyone I picked thus far, yeah, been good. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you for moderating. Thank you for listening to me this morning and visiting with me. Shout out to you. And it's been a pleasure. So Hopefully, Brown Skin Lady will be going live later. And shout out to everyone that went live last night, yesterday, and the day before, and those that have been going live for as long as I've been knowing them. Shout out to the Empress Lonnie One Love. We know that she's on her journey, doing her exercises, going to the gym, and we want to encourage Lonnie to keep moving forward, to keep doing good. And she's been doing really good these last couple of months. I don't hear Lonnie really, kicking up her heels too much. Shout out to Lonnie. Lonnie is something serious. I love Lonnie, and I love all of you. So thank you for coming over. A shout out to you, and have a good day, a good weekend. Have an awesome weekend. And if you don't have to go to work until after New Year's, happy holidays. Okay, just know your homegirl Arabia Barbosa don't celebrate holidays. I don't even I don't celebrate no holidays. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you do celebrate a holiday, it should be a reflection on something. So Birdman, his birthday is the 25th, and Sergeant Crystal Reagan birthday is the 21st. So shout out to them, rest in peace, my babies. And that's it. I'm out. Thanks everyone. Peace.